Hello everyone, welcome to Toyeen Talks. To all our beautiful subscribers, we say thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're new here, we are so happy you find us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified for more upcoming videos in the comment sections. Please, note the regretful comments. Thank you for watching. Till I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.
Welcome back to Perspective on Rise News. Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, better known as Mohbad, was a blazing force in Afrobeat and street pop, captivating fans with his raw vocals, street-inspired lyrics, and infectious energy. After signing with Naira Marley's Malian Music, he quickly rose to fame, collaborating with top artists and carving out a space as a voice of the streets. But on September 12th, 2023, tragedy struck. Mohbad died suddenly at just 27, sending shockwaves through the music industry and sparking widespread conversations about mental health, artist exploitation, and the dark side of fame. While his music continues to inspire, the aftermath of his death has been anything but peaceful for his family. His wife, Wumi, who was left to raise their young son alone, has faced relentless accusations and public scrutiny, much of it fueled by Mohbad's father, who took to the media to cast doubt on her intentions. Instead of mourning privately, she's been thrust into a storm of blame, online speculation, bullying, and family conflict playing out on a national stage. As the drama unfolds, Omomi's quiet strength has sparked larger conversations about the pressures women face in grief, the messy realities of family disputes, and the urgent need to protect artists' legacies from exploitation. We are heading for a short break, but stay with us because in a brief minute, we shall get into the meat of the conversation with our guests. Among Miss Cynthia Aloba, the wife of the late Afrobeat superstar Mohbad, and her lawyer, Kabi Akingbolu. Perspectives will return in just a moment. Welcome back to Perspectives on Rise News. Let's now seize a moment to introduce our guests, starting with Omomi Cynthia Aloba, a Nigerian entrepreneur and widow of the late Nigerian singer and songwriter Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. The couple share a son called Liam. Omomi and I are also being joined here on Perspectives by Kabi Akingbolu, a constitutional lawyer and human rights activist. He is a lawyer to Cynthia Omomi Aloba, wife of the late musical artist Mohbad. Many thanks for both of you for answering your call today, our call today. And I'm so pleased to have you here in the house, Omomi, because a lot of people have always wanted to hear your side of the story. Yeah. So at least now we'll get a balanced perspective. Yes, so let's start with the public scrutiny and privacy. You've been dealing with grief, but in the public eye, how have you been able to balance your private mourning with public attention?
I mean, to be honest, it has not been easy. You know, the death of my husband is like a road shock to me. So it wasn't something that I planned that it was going to happen to me. And, you know, after his demise, it's been from one problem to another, different accusation. Like a lot of people that do not even have a personal relationship with me tend to have so many things to say about me. And, you know, I just realized that no matter what life has thrown at me, I just have to be myself regardless of everything that is happening. And also, I've got to realize that my presence in Liam's life matters more than anything. Yeah. And that alone has been the only thing that's kept me going. That's
good. But what do you think people understand? Do you think about the circumstances of his death? Are there any areas that you want to clear that the public has a wrong perception about?
Yeah, I think one thing is, the reality that people are trying to shift away from is the fact that my husband got injured from a fight with his close friend, and also he was actually treated by a nurse. But you know,
on that day or the day of his death?
No, on the day of his death, yeah, which was on Tuesday, September 12th. But my father-in-law has, found a way of trying to divert people's attention away from the reality to, to another thing entirely. So, like most people on the public faces do not even go to the real issue on ground anymore.
The real issue? What really happened that last day?
Yeah, so what actually happened is, like, it was on Tuesday, and a nurse actually came, like his friend, Spending, called a nurse. He was the one that gave us the nurse number, and one of his workers at Bami called the nurse, and the nurse came around on Tuesday. Even on that Tuesday, he was supposed to go to a podcast interview, but the nurse actually came, and he was actually fine, although he sustained an injury, but he was okay, like it wasn't worse, because he had like plans for that day. So the nurse came, and the nurse gave him injection. I think it was the third injection that he reacted to.
Did she give the injections back to back?
No, it's like the distance wasn't really that much.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it
like
was,
an hour or so in between each injection.
Yeah, so it was the third injection that he reacted to.
How did you react to it?
After the injection, he vomited. He peed, and he started having reactions, started having goosebumps all over his body. His heart, it complained that it was feeling hot in his heart. Do you understand? Like he told us to get him some water. That I want to put some water in his body, which his brother did. And he also said he needed cold, he needed AC. Like he's feeling hot inside. Like the injection is making him hot inside. And we tried our best. We took him to the hospital, and like 20 minutes after, the doctor said he's dead.
20 minutes after he had landed in the hospital?
Yeah. The doctor said he was dead.
But that nurse that administered these injections, has any investigation been
yes, but
done about her professionalism, or whether she was even a qualified nurse?
Yeah, after my husband's demise, she was arrested, but she was later granted bail. And ever since this whole thing has happened, she has never come out to say anything. And she sees how people has been bullying me, how people has been calling me so many despicable names, how people has been accusing me wrongly, and she has never said anything. Instead, she's been out there clubbing, partying. Like the last time I saw a video of her clubbing, like doing lashes, makeup, and she's out there living her life. And it's just so unfortunate. Yesterday, I think there are people, like some people are out there talking to her. So those guys were on TikTok, and they were literally saying, they would tell her what to say, because next 2 weeks, March 14 is the next Corona inquest, which the judge asked her to come over to say on side of the story. These same people on TikTok were literally saying it yesterday, that they would tell her what to say to lie against me. Do you understand?
But they found out what was in that third injection that triggered this reaction.
I think they were supposed to do that, but my father-in-law already buried my husband. So when the government autopsy came out, the autopsy result said they cannot determine the cause of death because his body has already decomposed. So they couldn't get the right tissue to use for the autopsy.
But was there any reason your father-in-law buried him? I mean, how soon was he buried after he was...
Like he wanted to bury him that night, the night that he died.
But is he a Muslim?
He wasn't a Muslim. And, a lot of people actually begged him not to, but he insisted I was going to do that. He wanted to bury him that night.
Did he give any reason for this?
He did not. He did not. He did not. He just said he needs to bury him. Like, a lot of people begged him. He wanted to bury him that night, but they didn't give, he actually called the Bale of where he wanted to bury my husband. But the Bale said, there is no way that I cannot bring my husband that night. So he had to wait till the next morning, and,
And even it was such a rush that even the coffin was so small for him.
The coffin that he was the one that got the coffin, and the coffin was, my husband was 6'1", but the coffin was very, very small that he had to break his head.
Oh my God, this is harrowing to listen to. But anyway, you're a Momi's lawyer, But what I want to ask, what about securing full ownership of Mohbad's music to ensure that his family receives royalties that they are rightfully owned? Because this is an area that obviously has not been addressed. We are thinking about the emotional aspect. But in terms of his earnings that should be accrued from his music, how is that being secured for the future?
For now, I can tell you nothing is being done, in the sense that it will be like putting the cart before the horse. And I don't want a situation whereby, we don't want a situation whereby it will look as if the wife is more interested in the property of the late husband than money the husband. You understand? This is the aspect. But it's only, if there's anybody interested in the property, it's only the father-in-law. That's why the father-in-law is fighting now. It's only the father-in-law that is interested in the property. Against Yoruba culture, custom and tradition, against Ekiti culture and discipline. You know, how a father will become a celebrity because of his father. He has gone as far as Ghana radio to go and grant interview to defame our client. You understand? He went on so many stations. There is no reasonable station in this Nigeria that I have not visited. You understand? To say, oh, this is at a point it diverted attention completely from the real issue to say, oh, the child is not his grandson. Meanwhile, he knew. He said he wanted to do DNA to confirm the paternity. Yes, we say you don't have the local standing or the right to challenge the paternity of this son. Because the man, when he was alive, he bought 2 land. He bought one in Liam's name. He bought one for himself. He bought for his father. Do you understand? So if he's a bastard, he wouldn't have the mother in his house and the child as them. So all this you went on. Say, we now say you don't have the right. At the point, our client came and told us that instead of fighting this thing, let me just have the DNA. And we say, forget about legality. We say we are withdrawing all our objections. Yeah, let us do the DNA. Baba has run away since that time. We have written like 4 letters to his lawyers to say, let us do this DNA. We are ready. Since that time, he has not mentioned DNA. The next thing we will hear is that we wrote to his lawyer. They wrote back and said, we are no longer his lawyer for the DNA thing. And Baba went on here to say, oh, I have debriefed my lawyers. They are not trustworthy. I'm bringing in another lawyer. Meanwhile, there was a judgment of court that gave us directives to go and do the DNA. So this is where the problem is. So to now be talking about property when the guy is still lying in the morgue will be unjust. And let me tell you something. The whole thing that Nigerians don't know. Out of 100%, the cliche, justice for Mohbad is justice for their pocket. I can tell you more than 90% of these people shouting justice for pocket for Mohbad on social media, they are fighting for their pocket because of the rush. They bring all sorts of lies, they fabricate news just for them to have followership on their program and all that. And some of them immediately they do, before you know it, they will delete it all and you will not see it again, but they will have gotten what they want. So this is just it.
I want to even ask, in the first place, what was your relationship with your father-in-law like? And what triggered this reaction?
We had a very good relationship. Like, our relationship was, it was like a father figure in my life. We had a very, very cordial relationship. Like, he was the one that made, the marriage, because I was married to my husband legally. He was the one that made the marriage, like, he was the one that initiated the marriage. Even the birth of my child, because then I just finished my university. I was supposed to go for my master's. So he was even the one that, initiated this pregnancy, taking me to different places to have a baby, saying...
Oh, so it was actually
yes.
It wasn't as if it just happened.
No, it was planned. Like, we literally prayed for that baby. Like, it's like a miracle. We literally prayed, we fasted with this same man. We fasted for 7 days with my husband. We did so many things just for this baby because he just came to us and told us that the Holy Spirit tells him that we should have a baby and, the baby would be so glorious and, famous all over the world. And when he grows up and dies, the baby would be the one to buy his coffin. Those words still sound weird to me because, it's actually coming to pass now. Because now my husband is late and Liam is the Mohbad. Do you understand? And obviously, Liam really wants to still buy his coffin when he dies because it has been written and it will happen. So we had a good relationship, not until after, before my husband demise, after the delivery of my child, it's from one problem to another. The fact that my husband forgave his mother, and he felt
he and his mother,
they've departed for a long time. Yes, so he felt betrayed, like because we had a close relationship. So he felt betrayed, like why do I have to accept to the forgiveness of his mother when we didn't discuss it with him. And it is not my fault. This is his child's decision, not me. But, I feel like maybe he felt like I betrayed him in one way or the other. It's been from one problem to another. The placenta of my child, he was insisting that he wanted to have the placenta of Liam after his delivery. And my husband said he cannot give it to him because his mother is not the one in his house. He has other wives and he cannot trust him with his child's placenta. And when my husband was alive, he never queried him, he never questioned him. But now that he is dead, he's been saying different things like, and after my husband's demise, he literally called for my husband's properties, like the landed properties. his YouTube password, his car, like so many other things. And
He was asking you for it.
he was asking everybody. He was literally calling everybody to ask. And, you know, he called
Why did he call you?
He did not call me. But he actually called people to talk to me. He called my dad. He called my mother-in-law, my husband's friend. He called so many people to talk to me.
Everything that Mohbad owns should go to him.
Including the landed property he got for him.
Are you serious?
Yes. Like if I refuse to do that, he will make sure he destroy me everywhere.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So wait, first and foremost, even after immediately Mohbad died, do you understand? Were you and him, did he contact you?
No, he did not. Even the day my husband was buried, like I went.
Like
to,
the day, yeah, exactly. The
day my husband got, the day of the burial, I immediately got there. You know, those area boys. I think my father-in-law and one of his girl were like I don't know. They are just like they have a relationship together. They've said so many things before I got there. Your
father-in-law and who?
And one woman. That woman is like they have a relationship together. So they've said so many like bad things about me before I got there. Even the day when they wanted to bury my husband, I got